Yeah.
Just one, two. Okay, mighty companions, let's acknowledge ourselves first of all for being cool. We can do it. Give it to you. Give it to you. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome to A Course in Miracles. If this is the first time that you've been here, I'd like for you to hear the guidelines for the Course in Miracles, which is basically you do not need to believe the ideas. You do not need to accept the ideas. You do not need to welcome the ideas. So relax. Okay? I'm not trying to convert anybody. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything that's different from what they want to believe. I trust you will receive whatever you want to receive, whatever way you need to receive it or not, that's perfectly okay with me. That's important. Because the Course in Miracles teaches that in order to hear something new, you have to hear it first. And how will you let yourself hear something if you think you have to believe it first? Does that make sense? Or how will you let yourself hear something and you think that someone is trying to convert you or convince you or brainwash you or anything? I'm much too self-absorbed to be that concerned about you.
Thank you.
Okay? Because I know you're okay. I know you're an unlimited child of God. That's what I'm being taught, that you're a powerful being and that you're the one that's deciding what you want to believe and how you want to live your life and the choices that you want to make. So therefore, I can relax in what I do because it's okay with me however you receive whatever it is I have to say. Then that allows you to relax and hear whatever you want to hear or not hear what you want to hear. Because I'm teaching what I want to learn and I'm teaching what I need to learn. And because I want to live it. Now, my goal is to get everything out of me, any kind of fear, any kind of sense of separation, any kind of guilt or anger that would make me not be aware of the love that I could share with you. So my goal is to remove everything that keeps me from being a loving being. That's my goal. I want to be the presence of love everywhere I go with everyone I'm with. My goal is to love everybody equally in the same. So since I know that's none of the things I'm capable of,
No, we're real.
then I know that it's really about me getting out of the way to let the universe, the creator, love through me. So I'm not trying to source love to you. I'm trying to get out of the way so that the love that's already there can come through me to you. Now, I can tell when I'm giving it, because when I'm giving it, I feel it. When I'm giving it, I feel love. When I'm giving it, I feel joy and I feel happiness. Now check it out. When I'm giving it, I feel joy, I feel happiness. Notice that I didn't include you in that. I didn't say, you giving it to me makes me feel it. And you caring about me makes me feel good. And you liking me makes me okay. Notice I didn't go there. Because all of my feelings come from me. I'm the one that's feeling it. So I'm the one that's in charge of what I will feel. And you're in charge of what you will feel. So the way you're feeling right now, you're the one that's making you feel that way.
True.
Yeah.
And then when you're with someone and it looks like they're making you feel good, they're not making you feel good. You're making you feel good about being with them. You're the one that's making yourself feel good. Something about them is causing you to catalyze that feeling within yourself. And then you go, oh my God, that person right there really blew me away. They made me feel so much love. No, you made yourself feel the love about them. And the trick is, because you felt that good with them, your temptation will be to try to possess them. And to try to get them and try to make sure they always keep that feeling going for you. So my belief is just the opposite. You know, what I'm learning through the Course in Miracles is that I am love and that the love is in me. And all I have to do is get every block out of the way that keeps me from being aware of that. Then I show up in a loving way for you. That's the way we do it. Okay? So we got a great class today. We got a special surprise for you. We got a wonderful, powerful, luscious guest vocalist is going to sing a couple of songs for us today, and she's an incredible spirit, just like the rest of us. So we get a chance to get. Her name is Janelle Johnson, and she's incredible. So Janelle's going to be sharing with us today. Lord have mercy. And we know she's supposed to be here because she's juicy. That's all we can always tell. There's the juice be in the house. So I always like to take a couple of minutes when I get in just to warm myself up and turn myself on. I found that that's the easiest way for it to happen.
Yeah, turn on, baby.
Did I turn on? So I'm just gonna take a couple of minutes, not as long as usual, but I just need to say a few of the Course in Miracles workbook lessons, and then Janelle's gonna come up and sing one or two songs that she's gonna do for us, and we're gonna hear something today that's gonna be very powerful, I hope. So we got an interesting class. We got some things we're gonna do, and see the thought that I'd like to share today. Is I am entitled to miracles. Mm-hmm. For some reason, that's the thought I want to say. Yes. I am entitled to miracles, and then I'm going to also say that miracles replace all grievances. Mm-hmm. That miracles replace all, and a miracle is a state of completion and abundance. So a miracle is a state of completion and abundance, according to the Course. So we're saying, I am entitled to states of completion and abundance. I am entitled to states of completion and abundance. I am entitled to states, but I'm going to be saying I'm entitled to miracles. And then we're going to say that miracles replace all grievances, is let states of completion and abundance replace all grievances. So that means every time I have a grievance, I'm actually requesting a miracle.
Oh, yes.
And based on that, we got some miracles coming, don't we? We got some serious miracles coming down in the house tonight. So if you're PO'd to somebody right now, and you're mad because somebody not acting out your script, and they're not doing it the way you want them to do it, so you're showing your displeasure so that you can lovingly get them to do it. I'm going to show you how to be mean to you, and then you're going to want to treat me nice. It's a really weird kind of philosophy. But I did it. Many years. I did it many years. It's like, by going off on you, you're going to treat me better. Yeah. If I attack you, you're going to love me more. If I let you see how mad you're making me, then I'm going to feel good. So I want to invite you to just lighten up.
Okay.
Have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Because in the end, you've already decided whether or not you're going to like what I'm saying anyway. You've already decided whether you're going to like me anyway. And you've already decided whether you're going to enjoy being here or not. And so the rest of the album will be you justifying the decision you've already made. So if you already made the decision, you wish you weren't here, then everything I say, you're going to use it to make you wish you weren't here. And what you didn't like, you know. So I already know how it works. If you decided not to like it, you want to be right, so you won't like me. And that's okay. That's all right, then you won't be the first person. You can't teach for 40 years and not get used to that. That's what happens. That's right. But there's a lot of love that happens in That's right. That's right. So, I am entitled to miracles, that miracles replace all grievances. I want your love. I want your love. I want your love. Anybody willing to give up some love to me? I want your love. I want your love. I'm looking at somebody. You can feel. Like you never want. Yeah. Just try my love and see how well. This is not a church service. Yes. I'll say that once again. This is not a freaking church service. So don't come here acting like you in church. Alright? This is a class I'm doing in the church. So got it? I am entitled to miracles. Say what? I am entitled to miracles. Say what? I am entitled to miracles. Say it for yourself. I am entitled to miracles. Say what? I am entitled to miracles. Yeah, I am entitled to miracles. Let me hear you now. Let miracles replace all grievances. Miracles replace all grievances. Let 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 abundance 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 replace all. Guess what? I want your love. I want what? Your love. And spirit, tell spirit, say, I want your love. I want, guess what? Your love. Talk to yourself and say, I want my love. I want what? My love. Yes, that's what we want now. I want my love. I want what? My love. One more time. I want your love. 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 Say to the universe, I want your love. Say what? I want your love. 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 I want your love right now. Yeah, now. It's okay to play. My brother. Thank you.
Get off of me with the...
That's right. Style. That's what I'm talking about. You know, all of us look alike.
Subtle difference in the hair.
That's right. Just a subtle difference. So, of course, the nervous bouncer, would you remove that young man? That young man needs to go. So now we're going to start out with a really groovy tune. Mr. Janelle, would you come up and we will begin to make this transition. This is the first time that we've done this, so we're doing the technical stuff. That's right. This is our first time. No. In front of everybody.
Bring it.
All right. So you got it. So you get the body you want. So let's welcome her so she'll feel. It's nervous to stand up in front of people. Yes, before. That's when they look at you like this. Okay, how's your mic?
Testing. Well, hi everybody.
Hi.
I'm Janelle.
Hi, Janelle.
I'm visiting from North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
Hi, first time in Colorado since last Monday.
Oh.
Just love her accent.
I like that.
I'm originally from Trinidad, so that's what you're hearing. But I can be southern a little bit. Okay, enough of that. I'm here visiting my friend Zen, and I'm happy to be here.
That's okay, go ahead.
You did?
That's okay, you cool. I just do this in. Go ahead.
Okay, so anyways, the song I'm singing today is called I Wish, and it's a song of blessing. Every line of the song is beautiful. There's something for everybody in this one song. And so since I like to sing, it's my pleasure to sing this song for you, for every single person today. I'd give you the moon, but you never know the warmth of the sunshine. I'd give you the world, but exactly would that do? I promise you wings to fly, but how would you ever learn to run? I pray you always see the forest through the trees, and this is what I wish for you. I wish you rainy days so you could know the beauty of a clear blue sky. I wish you falling leaves so you'll understand that seasons change. And if I gave you the mountains, would you learn to climb? I wish you all you need to be more than I could be. And this is what I wish for you. And this is what I wish for you. If I could not take this world and chase your fears away, yeah, and I'd stand right by your side and show the way that you should take. But this is your life, this is your story, and when all is done and said, may you live with no regrets. I wish you ocean breeze and rivers that bring you everything you need. I wish the air you breathe is all that you will ever need. And I wish you nights of love and days of joy and shoulders when you cry, and just enough hellos to get you through goodbye. And this is what I wish for you. I pray one day you'll have a home with arms that open wide. Yes, and you'll have someone who loves you, always by your side. Yeah, and if you lose your will to try, I pray you wings to fly. I wish you wings to fly. I wish you everything you need. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And this is what I wish for you. This is what I wish for you.
Oh, damn, that seemed good as her. Don't it? It's just one of us here, you know. That was your voice. It's just one of us here. You know what I'm talking about? Man, let's give it to her one more time. I love my dream. It's so good. Just gets better by the moment. All right, so today I'm going to talk about a lesson that's called All Things Are Lessons God Would Have Me Learn. All things are lessons that love would have me learn. All things are lessons that love would have me learn. All things are lessons that what?
Love would have me learn.
Yeah, it's the same as saying all things are lessons that God would have me learn. All things are lessons that God would have me learn. And this is lesson 183 in the Course in Miracles workbook. And I'm going to go through it with you. And then Janelle's going to sing another song later. So you can stay. I have to bribe you, you know. All right. And so lesson number 193. It's on page 367 in the Course in Miracles workbook. That's the Foundation for Inner Peace version. And there's some things that I'm going to cover in this. And I'm not going to cover every paragraph because we won't have time to go through every paragraph. There's some key points that I want to cover. Start with paragraph 3. And we're going to read it, and then I'm going to go through it. We're going to talk about it. All things are lessons that God would have me learn. These are the lessons that God would have you learn. God's will reflects all of these lessons. And God's will reflects God's loving kindness to you, the child God loves. So each thing that happens in your life, everything that's going on in your life is a lesson. Everything that's happening to you right now is a lesson. Everything that you're going through right now is a lesson. Everything that you are experiencing right now is a lesson. What you were thinking about before you got here today, it's a lesson. It's a lesson that your Creator would have you learn. And God's will, which is for your perfect happiness, reflects all of the lessons that you're having right now. So each lesson that you are going through, now remember, the lesson is whatever that you think that you're going through right now. Anything in your life that you give yourself any lack of peace about is a lesson. Each lesson has a central thought, has a central thought, has a central thought. Each lesson has a central thought, has a central thought, has a central thought. The same central thought in all of the lessons. So what does that mean? Everything that you're going through has the same lesson that it's trying to teach you. It doesn't matter what you're going through, whatever it is that you're going through. In any area of your life that you're going through it, there's just one lesson that you're being taught. The form of the lesson, the appearance of the lesson, that's the only thing that is changed. So the lesson comes to you through this person, the lesson comes through you through another person, the lesson comes to you through this circumstance, and that circumstance, and that situation, and this situation, all the different situations. It doesn't make any difference. The form alone, the appearance alone is changed with different circumstances and events, with different characters and different themes, apparent but not real. All of it's the same in the fundamental content. All of it is the same. All of it has the same meaning, and it is this. I don't care what you're going through. This is the meaning of it. This is the content. This is the message. The message is forgive, and you will see this differently. Forgive, and you will see this differently. Forgive, and you will see this differently. You know what I'm talking about? Forgive, and you will see this differently. I say forgive, and you will see this differently. But, forgive, and you will see this differently. But you don't know that, you don't know what I'm like. Forgive, and you will see. Now, another way you can say this is this. Forgive means you will see this differently. It actually means the same thing. Forgiving is seeing this differently. That's what forgiveness is. Forgiveness isn't trying to overlook what you think someone has done to you because you're smarter, more loving, more conscious. You're just this forgiving person. You really did it to me, but I'm going to try to see this differently. You did it to me, and I'm going to try to forgive you. Forgiveness has nothing to do with trying to overlook what you think someone actually has done to you. Forgiveness is present. It's present. It's not past, it's not, let me give you an example. No matter what you think has happened to you, right, in this moment, you're safe in this moment, right here. So you're bringing it with you into this room.
Right.
You are bringing that grievance with you into this room. So the truth is, forgiveness is recognizing that there's nothing to forgive.
No.
And recognizing that there's nothing to forgive is really recognizing that you are safe now. You are loved now. You're present now. So if I'm unhappy, if I'm holding a grievance right now, I'm the one that's keeping it going in this moment. I'm the one that's making me feel bad right now. Now, do you think you have justification for your forgiveness? Of course you think you have justification for your forgiveness, or you wouldn't have the grievance. But it's not true. So forgive, and you will see this differently. Then it goes on to say, certain it is, I love this, it says, certain it is that all your distress doesn't appear, all of your distress does not appear to be what? An unforgiveness. Your financial problem in your perception doesn't seem to be an unforgiveness. Your health problem doesn't seem to be an unforgiveness. Your relationship problem doesn't seem to be an unforgiveness. Your feeling separate from God doesn't appear to be an unforgiveness. Nothing that's causing you distress appears to be an unforgiveness, because if I recognized it was an unforgiveness, I'd be working on my grievance and my unforgiveness, instead of thinking that I've got to change something on the outer in order for me to be peaceful, and in order for me to be happy. The mere fact that I'm trying to deal with the outer before I deal with the inner is my way of knowing that I don't believe that the distress that I'm going through is just an unforgiveness. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't catch y'all right in the middle of it.
Carry on, carry on.
There's some forgiveness going on in the living room.
Yeah.
I love y'all. You love me too? I love you too. So he says, now, so let's get this straight. Okay, no matter what you think you're going through, no matter what problem you think you have, no matter what is upsetting you right now, according to the Course in Miracles, it's saying that it's an unforgiveness. And an unforgiveness is a misperception. It means that I have an incorrect interpretation of what's going on. So an unforgiveness is an incorrect perception. It's a misperception. It's an interpretation of what's going on right now that's not true. How do I know that the interpretation that I'm making of the situation isn't true? Because I don't like the way I feel. The fact that I don't like the way I feel is letting me know that I'm misperceiving the situation. It lets me know there's another way I could look at this, that I'm not looking at it, unless I'd like to be right more than I'd like to be happy. If I want to be right about this more than I want to be happy, then I'm going to stick with my point of view, even though it's causing me pain. Everybody with me on that? Yeah. So if you want to keep your grievance, nothing is going to take it away from you. If you want to keep your grievance, nothing will take it away from you. God won't take it away from you. I won't take it away from you. Nobody will. So don't think that this class is asking you to sacrifice a feeling or a thought or an emotion that you want to keep. No one can take it away from you. If you want to attack your body, kill yourself, die early, be broke, be miserable, then that's your right. And no one's going to interfere with that. You can do it as long as you like, but remember, the person that you're mad at, they don't feel any of the stuff you put in yourself through. Yeah. They could be in Hawaii right now, partying on the beach like a big dog. You sitting up there at home, miserable, never gonna let you have another, never gonna let yourself have another relationship because you're so mad at somebody. They don't even realize you're upset and might be loving up somebody else at this very moment. So who are you actually affecting by your grievance? That's why people need to, sometimes they want to be with the person that they're mad at, so at least the person can see how unhappy they're making. But it doesn't make sense to have a bunch of grievances by yourself, because nobody sees you suffering. So, you know, okay. So I just want you to think about that, because your own sense of love, your own sense of self-preservation could take over, and you would go, you know what, I don't like the way I'm making myself feel. Nobody else is feeling this anyway, so why don't I change it and do it a different way? Because the person I'm mad at, they don't feel my anger. They don't physically feel my anger. They don't feel my pain. So I need to understand that the truth is the reason why I'm holding on to this grievance is because I want me to suffer. That's why I'm holding on to the grievance. Not because I want them to suffer. It's because there's a part of me that thinks I deserve to suffer. And since I think I deserve to suffer, I will use this so-called grievance to make me feel pain, but I'm the one that's hurting. So I would like you to first of all forgive yourself, because when you forgive yourself, then I tell you what, happy people don't raise hell. Happy people tend not to be the one that's the hell raisers. It's the miserable people that are upset about everything. But once your life is working in your perception and you're feeling happy and joyful, you'll find that you don't even think about what you think somebody else did to you in the past. You don't even have time to focus in on it because each moment is so filled with joy, you don't have time to think about what somebody did to you in 3rd grade. You know what I'm saying? Think about that for a minute. If you have a full life, if you're feeling joy, if you're feeling the love of God within you now, you don't really have time to think about what you think somebody did to you in the time in the past that doesn't even have any effect right now. How do you know it's not having any effect right now? Because you're joyful right now. You're feeling happy right now. That's how you know that whatever you went through did not affect you. You know it didn't affect you because you're still here and you're still strong. You outlived and survived anything that happened to you in the past. You're stronger than anything that you think you're upset about, or you wouldn't be sitting here. You made it. You're okay. So stop punishing yourself. Stop, because nobody else is, I'm gonna say it again, the other folk don't feel it. The other folk don't feel it. The person you got all their grievance against, they don't feel it. They don't know it. You're feeling it. So your attack is on yourself first. Okay, then the Course in Miracles says, now let's simplify things. I know you'd like to think you have a lot of problems. Because if you have a lot of problems and you need a lot of answers and a lot of different answers and you got to go from person to person, situation to situation, you got all this stuff that needs to be solved. But what would happen if you just had one problem and there was one solution? That would simplify it, right? So what we want to do, the Course in Miracles teaches us that we have one problem and there's one solution. So what we should do if you want to feel better immediately is reduce all your problems to one. And then go, all right, I thought I had a lot of problems, I just have one. See, ooh. Yeah, I know you think you had a financial problem, a relationship problem, a health problem, a job problem, a spiritual problem. And of course, you got all these myriad of problems you think you have. Let's just reduce it to one. You only have one problem. Yeah. And now that's the other part that the Course in Miracles teaches. I only have one problem and it's already been solved.
Wow.
So then we get up. Then we get up. Okay. All right. Then it goes on to say that then what we need to do is just see it differently. Okay, then we go, well, how do I do that? Well, let's go a little bit further. But before I do that, are there any questions or comments about what I've said so far that anyone wants to ask me? Yes.
I would like to say it's good to be back in Denver, #1.
Yes. Amen.
And to make it even simpler, like for me, when you're upset, just say you're wrong. If I'm feeling upset, then that just means I'm wrong. Like you said, you just want to be right when you're upset. But if you just say that I'm wrong and there's something delusional about how I'm seeing it, then my mind will want to correct itself. And then the other thing is that to give yourself power in the upset, instead of trying to change yourself and change the feeling, say I must have set a goal somewhere along the line to be upset, and whatever is coming up is an excuse for me to carry out that goal. So it could be the bus was late, it could be someone was late, it could be the food was not hot enough, it could be anything, but the goal was to be upset, so I'm going to use any form that comes up to accomplish the goal of being upset. Why would you set that goal? Doesn't matter. You're upset, so it means you set the goal because you're unlimited and powerful, and whatever's happening is what you choose to happen because you're responsible for what you see. We are responsible for what we see. We choose the feelings we experience and decide upon the goal we would achieve, and everything that seems to happen to us, we ask for and receive exactly as we have asked. Boom shakalaka.
And boom shakalaka is on page 230. Right right there. The spiritual way. Boom shakalaka. If you don't say boom shakalaka at the end of it, nothing works. Have you been saying boom shakalaka? No, you haven't. Now you know what to do. That's exactly right. That's exactly right, my brother. That's exactly right. And everything he was saying was in the course. You know what I'm saying? So first you make the decision and then you justify it. You always make the decision first, then you justify it. Some people think to forgive someone, they don't want to forgive them because they think that means they have to go out to lunch with them. Right. Some people like to keep the grievance going so that they don't have to join with the person. And they think forgiving means they have to be with them. So they want to keep the grievance going because they know that they don't want to physically be with that person for whatever reason, you know. So forgiveness is really something that you do internally, and it doesn't have anything ultimately to do with the other person. Or else it would take you too long to do it. See, I can decide that I have a peaceful attitude toward you, and I only want to extend peace to you, and then you make that decision for yourself whenever you're ready. So I'm no longer carrying the grievance around because I've decided to deal with you in a peaceful way. And that heals me, you see. So then if you want to hang on to the grievance longer, that's up to you. But as far as I'm concerned, when you're ready to deal with me again in a peaceful, same way, I'm willing to deal with you again in a peaceful, same way. But in the meantime, I'm not going to wait for you to do it. I'm going to still keep moving in my evolutionary development as I perceive it. And then when you decide that you want to have peace, I'm not going to hold it against you. And then I'm going to say, well, let's start right here. If possible, let's start from a peaceful place right here. Yes, brother.
What if the grievances aren't with other people, but it's with yourself?
But it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I need to correctly perceive myself, which is forgiveness, and then I'll see this differently. And then the Course in Miracles in every truth book is giving you one new way after another new way after another new way after another new way for you to see yourself. But then you see yourself in a new way, the same way you learned how to see yourself in the old way, which is from what you're telling yourself, what you've been told, and what you accepted as true. So the undoing process is, in a way, just the exact same thing as the doing of it. You believe these things about yourself that's not loving and powerful because you learned to see it that way, because it was endlessly repeated to you. Whether you were repeating it to yourself or somebody else was repeating it to you, that's why you believe what you believe, because what you heard and you continually told yourself. So if I got a grievance against me, then I need to start telling myself some new things about me. I need to remind myself of the truth about me. And that's why you all always hear me going, no matter, the class is a support, but it does not substitute for your own spiritual study and your own attention and focusing in. I'm here to support you. I can't substitute for your individual work. And so, and since the course or any truth teaching has the new ways already there for you to look at, then you don't even have to figure out the new way to look at yourself. You're the Holy Son of God himself. You're totally innocent. You're loving. You're lovable. You're not a body. You're free. You are spirit. There are a ton of things you could say to yourself, as long as you remember that at the beginning you don't have to believe it. Because if you think you have to believe it as soon as you say it, you will stop.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important in the acceptance of a new idea that you want, is to let go of that friggin' idea. You've got to believe it. If you already believe it, you wouldn't be trying to do it. It's like going to a class to learn how to fly a jet, and the first day the instructor comes in and tells you about what it's like to fly a jet. You mad at yourself because you can't go get in the cockpit and fly off. You know, readiness is not mastery. Because you say you're ready to be more loving and to love yourself more, it doesn't mean you mastered it. That's why you have to be gentle with yourself as you change your mind about yourself. And then you surround yourself with people who also see you for who you are and remind you of that. You don't have to try to do that alone when you have that grievance against yourself. And you can even say, let miracles replace this grievance I have about myself. You can apply it to yourself personally. See, the answer is easier than we made it up to be, because you'll find that the answer is a choice. The answer is a decision. See, we ready to tell me what to do, 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 tell me what to do. Now it's let me tell you how to see it, let me tell you how to see it, let me tell you how to think, let me tell you how to think about it, let me tell you how to interpret it. Not what you do. Now, no matter what I say in a class, you put what your inner self and what your inner being tells you to do above anything you hear me or anybody else say. Okay, we clear about that? If it comes down to you following your heart and what your heart is telling you to do and what I say, I would suggest you go with your own heart. You know, because I'm not here to control, I'm not here to lead. A leader is by themselves, a follower is by themselves. If I'm leading, I'm by myself, and you following. And if I'm following you leading, I'm by myself. But I want to walk side by side with you on the self-same road. So I have no interest in being a leader. But I do.
Bullseye.
That's right. That's right. It's right. Actually, if you put me up on the pedestal, you can get a better aim.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, Earl's up on the pedestal. You know what I'm saying? And so pay attention to how you feel when you're listening, because your own feelings is the one right use of judgment. Your own feelings let you know what you're thinking and what you're believing. So the course then says that certain it is that all distress, and I'll make it more personal, certain it is that all the distress that you're going through doesn't appear to be but an unforgiveness. But that's the content underlying the form. It is this sameness that makes learning sure, because the lesson is so simple. The lesson is so simple that it can't be rejected in the end. No one can hide forever from a truth so obvious that it appears in countless forms and yet is recognized as easily in all of the forms. If one but wants to see the simple lesson here, forgive and you will see this differently. These are the words that the Holy Spirit, your higher power, speaks to you in all your tribulation. I'm mad at my boss, forgive, and you will see your boss differently. I'm mad at my mate, forgive, and you will see them differently. How can I make that more practical? Correctly perceive them and you will see this differently. Because he says forgiveness is true perception. Forgiveness is correct perception. So you can substitute the word correct perception or true perception every time you see the word forgiveness in the Course in Miracles, and it would give you a much more relatable idea about what forgiveness means. It's funny, like sometimes people would meet me in a social gathering and they'll say, what do you do? And I say, well, I teach classes on letting go of anger, guilt, grievances in the past. And they'll say, wow, I need that. But if I say to them, I teach classes on forgiveness, they never say that. No. People don't respond to when you say, I teach forgiveness. But if you say, oh, I teach classes on how to release anger, guilt, grievances in the past, they go, well, I need that. That's what forgiveness is. It's letting go of anger, guilt, grievances in the past. You know, so when I say forgiveness, it's not the old definition of forgiveness that you learn from the world. The Course in Miracles has its own definition and interpretation of everything that it says. It has its own interpretation of that. I video these classes and I mail them out to the people on my mailing list, and I also put them on YouTube. So there are a lot of things that I'm going to be doing this fall. If you're not on the mailing list and you'd like to be on the contact list, please sign up and you get a chance to listen back to these classes again. Sign up for no other reason to hear Janelle sing. Okay. Okay, so the Course in Miracles says that, so now you know. So as soon as you say, I got a financial problem, I have a spiritual problem, I have any kind of problem, what's the first thing that you're going to tell yourself? This is an unforgiveness. What is an unforgiveness? It's a misperception. It's a wrong perception. So then you go, I have a wrong perception of this. Now, if someone robs you and you think you got robbed, then you say, well, how could that be a wrong perception? The person did put a gun in my face and take my money. The wrong perception is not you saying that necessarily that the person looked like they robbed you. The wrong perception is you looking at it in such a way that it's still taking your peace away and making you afraid. That's what makes it the wrong perception. The wrong, in other words, when you have a correct perception, anything could be happening in your life and you would know a way to look at it that would empower you instead of taking your power away. So are we clear about that? That's what I mean when I say you're wrong. You're wrong because you're looking at it in a way that you do not feel any more peace. Right. Because there's a way you can look at anything. I don't care how horrible you think it is, that you could maintain your center and you can maintain your connection to source. So when we talk about wrong, you could say wrong perception. When I say, like when Naeem was talking about I'm wrong, he was talking about I have a wrong perception of this because I have a perception that's not giving me peace. Right. And then people say, well, how do I have a perception that gives me peace? You have a perception that gives you peace by giving yourself the truth. How do I give myself the truth? Stop going to your own mind to come up with what's going on and have a wisdom greater than your own that you're learning through, which is what truth students have a tendency not to do. They think that being conscious means you make it up as you go along and you come up with your own ideas about what's true, and then you make up your truth. And then you say, I have my truth. Well, great, but nobody knows what the heck it is.
Right.
You know, so how are they going to live according to your truth? They don't know what your truth is. You know, but truth is the same for all of us.
Right.
The path to the truth is different. It's different when someone tells you, this is the way and this is the only way and this is the one way. That I heard a lot in regards to the Bible. This is it. This is the way. It's different. That's different than telling you there's one truth.
Yeah.
But there are many ways to get to the one truth that we all live under. And that's where the clash comes in. The way I approach the truth for me is different from the way you approach the truth for you. So you condemn my approach and I condemn your approach, and now we're fighting about the approaches. And that's all of the conflict you see in the world around religions and all the different beliefs. It's people getting upset because everybody's not doing it the way they are doing it. I teach my classes the way I teach my classes because I know that the people who would be sent to my classes need it just the way I do it. I'm not going to change myself in order to get you to come to my class. Right. There are people who will come to my class because they like the way I do my class. And those are the only people I want to come. I pray that those are the only people. You know, because then I can enjoy it, you can enjoy it, and we can all have a wonderful way to do it, right? Yeah. So that's why I want you to be about yourself. Be your true, authentic self. And those who need you the way you are, they will gain everything they need to gain just by you being you. You will be getting complimented, acknowledged, and loved, and you won't even know why. You won't even understand it. You don't know that just you being you, the way you are, is being the way that gives them the lessons that they need in a joyful way. That's the kind of life I live. That's the kind of life I'd like you to live. But I had to go through the fear of loss that you go through when you start to be your authentic self, because some people are not going to like you that way, and they're going to put you out of their life. They're going to go. They're going to leave. And then one day you'll be sane enough to go, thank you, God. Yeah, instead of trying to get them back, you'll be going, thank you, God. Because the cruel person is the person who don't like you and needs you to change, and they won't go nowhere.
Right.
They'll stay there, trying to get you to be something other than who you are, even though they don't like who that is. That's cruel. That's not love. So if I'm upset about it, what would that be? I need to go what? I'm going to forgive, and then I will see you differently. So when you say forgive, say correct perception. I'm going to perceive correctly, and then I will see this differently. How do I know when I'm perceiving correctly? Because I'm feeling more peace. What's going to give me more peace? The correct interpretation of the situation. What's the correct interpretation of the situation? I am responsible for what I see. I choose the feelings I experience. I decide upon the goal I would achieve, and everything that seems to happen to me, whether it's love or fear, I ask for and receive as I have asked. The most important lesson to me in the Course in Miracles is a lesson 2, which is I give everything I see all the meaning that it has for me. Because everything that you're feeling is coming from your meaning making. So if you don't remember anything else today, that's why I work that into every class I do, because I realize if anybody walks out of here with the perception that they're responding to their own definitions and their own meanings that they're giving to the situation, they have the key to happiness. Because at that point, I can just give myself the right definitions of what's going on that allows me to keep my peace. Now, what's the advantage of having peace? The real advantage of having peace is that when you have peace, you can hear the voice for God. When you have peace, you can hear your divine guidance. You're being very specifically instructed how to deal with everything that you're concerned about right now. There's not anything you're concerned about right now that you aren't getting guidance on. You just don't hear it. So why is it that you don't hear it? You don't hear it because you're listening to your own voice. You're listening to what you are making up as you go along, and you're listening to what you've learned in the past, telling you how to look at it. When you say you're going to take over, you know, you tried the truth for a little while, and you go, well, it didn't work, I'm just going to take over now. When you say that, all you're saying is, I'm going to use old methods again. Did you know that? That's all you're saying. Whenever you say, I'm going to take over control of this, all you're saying is, I'm going to do what I've always done in the past again. That's all you're saying. I'm going to do it one more time the way I learned to do it on my own in the past. Now, if you're hearing this right, you may find that some of you actually feel anger. Like the more I talk, the angrier you get. That's because the part of you that knows what it's hearing is the truth is upset about it because it's taking you out of control at an ego level. You have to admit that There's something that loves you more than you do. There's something that loves you more than you do. There's something that wants to love you more than you want to love yourself right now. Let it do it. Let it do it. So forgive and you will see this differently. The Course says, guess what? It says, this is what your higher self, the love in you, is going to speak in all your tribulations, and all your pain, and all your suffering, regardless of the form. It doesn't make any difference what form your upset is coming in. Your higher power, your loving self, the Holy Spirit, the voice for God, the voice for truth in you is going to say, forgive, and you'll see this different. But I'm mad about it. Forgive, and you'll see this different. But I'm upset about it. Forgive, and you will see this different. Reperceive, and you will see this different. Interpret this correctly, and you will see this differently. And this book is full of new ways for you to reinterpret. And when you reinterpret, you're going to say it in the beginning. You're going to give it a, like this is let miracles replace all grievances. It may not have any juice at first. Let miracles replace all. But what you're doing is showing you a little bit of willingness to have it corrected. Because the Holy Spirit, which is your divine self, your higher self, the part that's linked to God, that part of you is the healer, not you. You're not in this class to heal yourself. You're not in this class to fix yourself. You're not in this class in order for you to try to handle it on your own one more time. As a matter of fact, according to the Course, you can always tell the things that you're handling because they're the things that have never been solved. Okay, so the thing that you're handling is the thing that you still have the same pattern, the same problem that you've been dealing with forever. That's the one that you're handling. Okay, so if you go, damn, that's everything in my life. Right, so you need to resign right now as your own teacher. You need to resign right now as your, which you should do.
I'm not even putting in my 2 weeks.
Don't you put in your 2 weeks. Now, resign right now, today, because you are entitled to miracles, that miracles replace all grievances. In the beginning, I'm going to hear new ways of looking at things, but I won't necessarily believe it. So I have to tell myself over and over and over and over and over again. The more I tell myself, the more I start accepting it as true, until one day I accept it as totally true. When I accept it as totally true, I have a different emotional response, and I begin to see it in my physical reality, which is a reflection of what I really believe. So if you see the result, you know you've learned. Learning is invisible. You can only know you've learned something by the physical result. So if you say, I know I believe this and I've done something different and I don't think this way anymore, but your life is total chaos, that's your way of knowing that you have not really accepted as true yet the things that you say you've accepted. And so you keep telling yourself, and remember this, the universe is on your side. The universe wants you to have happiness. You're the only one holding it up. You might think it's your mother, your father, the past, whatever, but you're the only one that's holding it up. You're the one that's holding it up. And it's waiting for you to allow yourself to receive. So allowing is a big part of your joy, and that's what you deserve because you're juicy, you're cute, you're innocent, and you're powerful. Could you acknowledge yourself for just hearing that much, even if you don't want to? You cool? You know what I'm saying? So it's not about hearing a whole lot of the Course. It's about what is it saying that I can tune into if it's just one sentence that I can use. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to do the financial expression of appreciation. Thank you for sharing with me. I'm a full-time teacher of A Course in Miracles. I don't charge for my classes simply because I want everybody to be able to come regardless of their financial situation. But that doesn't mean I don't need money. I eat too. I actually eat like everybody else. Take care of it.
And here we thought you were.
I know, you just thought I was a breatharian, didn't you? Yeah, they're yogis that live off of prana, just air. Okay, let me share this with you also, and then we're going to have Janelle come back up and do another tune for us. Tuesday night is the Way of Mastery. Those online, if you'd like to make a financial expression of appreciation, you can go to my website, earlpurdy.com. I'm also available for one-on-one sessions called Clarity Sessions, where I take your personal situation and show you how to apply this to it. And if you're open to it, and the key word is open to it, I also use my knowledge of astrology and numerology as another way for spirit to communicate through me to you. The planets are not controlling your fate and destiny. It's a language. It's another way for a message to get through to you if you're open to it. Okay? Because I'm here only to be truly helpful. That's it. You get to the point that you realize that's the only thing that's really any fun here is being of service.
Yeah.
You know, the rest of it, you start to realize nothing outside of yourself is going to really make you happy anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So you just decide to be happy, and then you're happy with everything outside yourself. That's the paradox of it. Then all of a sudden you really do enjoy your car and your house and your friends because you decided to. It's not because you're holding the sword over their head ready to cut it off, but they don't do what you want them to do. So forgive what? And you will see this differently. All distress is just unforgiveness. What's unforgiveness? It's just a misperception. It's just you looking at it in such a way that you're upsetting yourself about it. This lesson is a very powerful lesson. It's lesson 193. How can you tell? This is one last thing I want to put. He says, how can you tell when you're seeing wrong? He says, how can you tell if someone else is failing to perceive the lesson they should learn? Does pain seem real in the perception? If pain seems real, be sure that the lesson isn't learned. So if the pain still seems real to you, go, I haven't learned the lesson yet. Don't beat yourself up. Doesn't mean you're bad. Doesn't mean you're sinful. Doesn't mean you're guilty. It just means you haven't learned the lesson yet. So stop beating yourself up. Put that psychic sledgehammer away. Beating yourself up is not the way to correct anything. If that was true, you'd have bliss consciousness right now. We'd all beat ourselves up. If that worked, by now you'd be like enormously happy. So love yourself enough to let yourself be happy. Love yourself enough to let yourself, because all that suffering you're doing is you doing it to you. You attacking you, your dislike of you.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all it is. You think it's your dislike of the other people, it's your dislike of you.
Whoa.
And stop disliking you. I like you. Don't you like me?
I like you.
I know you. That might have something to do with the fact I don't know you, but I like you. So that's all right too. That's right. That's right. So don't change my mind about you. I'm seeing you correctly. I'm looking at you right. I'm telling you. So you're a blessing in my life. I'm eternally grateful for you. The happiest time for me is the time I spend with you. And that's the truth.
Yeah,
Yes. That's the truth. Yeah, thank you, God. You know, all that you give is given to yourself. We're just one. It's just one of us here acting like it's a lot of us. And on the subject of hugs, after the class, I always say hugs are available. Because some people don't like to be hugged, they don't like to be touched. They've dealt with things in the past and maybe that's not something they feel comfortable with or something that they're ready for. They just don't want one from me. So that's okay. It's never any pressure. For those who like a hug, I love giving a hug and receiving a hug. So that's the way when I say that about no hug, hugs out, that's why I said I would just come grab you. Okay, I go hugs out, well, a few of y'all grab, but hugs out. Those are people that's giving me grab permission. Some people say, you just grab me anytime. Come back at 2 o'clock in the morning, you can grab me. Yes. Yes. But I know. But see, to grab or not to grab, that is the question. Like my man Shakespeare. That what this Shakespeare said, that to grab or not to grab. Part of being conscious is that you are conscious. So you kind of know what to do, when to do, how to do. You pay attention, you watch, you listen. Because I always have to see how deeply the person is pretending they're not me.
Oh, wow.
And then that allows me to know the boundaries to have with people around me. I listen to them and I see how much they believe they're separate from me. And then I try to operate within that boundary that makes them feel safe enough to love, because I'd rather have your love than your body. Okay? I want the feeling of fearlessness between us more than anything I could ever do with your form. You know, I discovered there were billions of bodies in the world. I didn't have to hunt for that. But what there isn't enough of is sanity and love. So that's what I want, because I've never seen a man that didn't have a body that went with it yet. So I don't have to worry about the body part. It tends to come with the mind. Okay, so I want to focus on the mind where I used to focus on the booty. Okay, now. Tell the truth, Janelle, telling the truth. That's right, that's right. Yeah. So I love you. That's right, I love you. You're just so cool. And Janelle, would you come up and wind it up for us?
Hello again.
Hi.
So I sat there and I was trying to figure out what to sing the second time. And I want to sing about love. Humans need love. So that's what I'm going to sing about. No, this is a cappella this time. Yeah.
All right.
Yes. So the song is called It Must Be Love. And as I come to this is my second time coming to this kind of class. But Zen talks about such things all the time, and it's sinking in. Coming from the Christian background I have, I realize that even though they preach love in the pulpit a lot, there's such a deficit in the house of it, right? And it's real. People are starving for love. Heck, I'm starving for love, right? But I'm working on, all this. So I want to sing about love. Because when you realize who you are and what your limitations are as a human, but when you connect to God, what could happen? Like how you said in the beginning, what happens? What's happening anyway, and he's just the conduit, that kind of thing. It's very powerful. All right, that's all. So here's the song. Why would you, the God of greatness, simply love someone like me? And how could you, so good and perfect, know my thoughts, yet meet my needs? I'll never know or understand just what you see in me. My mind is amazed to think your plan includes me for eternity. It must be love. It must be love. In spite of who I am, he still came to where I was. Although my life is torn and scarred, there's room for me inside his heart. I can find no other reason but this one. It must be love. He keeps on turning my curses into blessings. That's his love and nothing less. Forgiving my sins and then forgetting. That's his love and nothing less. If I could give my everything, it wouldn't be enough for every good and perfect gift is more than I deserve. It must be love. It must be
only thing you can say after that is, damn! My God, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. You just moved my soul.
Got it in her voice.
That's right. I said everything. That's right. After give and I see all of it different.
Right.
So you are entitled to miracles. You're getting ready to go out in the lab, right? Right. So Mighty Companions hugs are available, and may the course be with you. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for coming, Lord God. Y'all awesome. Love you.